Good morning, you guys. I'm back in the studio. Woo! Feels good. And the lighting's better. All right, so we are here for Pilates Flow this morning. Let's get started. We're gonna just plant your feet nice and strong into the floor. Open up your toes, pick up your toes, lift them up right up off the floor, and then press them down into the floor. All of them, pinky toe all the way through, and then pick them back up, and then plant them all down. And now we're gonna leave the little toes and pick up the big toe. So we're just leaving the pinky all through the little toes and just lifting your big toe. And we're switching that up. Plant the big toe, lift all the little toes. And then again, switch it up. So you've got your little toes down, your big toe is up. And switch it again. Big toe goes down, little toes come up. And then relax that. Just put a little bend into your knees. We're going to start with some neck circles this morning. Dropping the chin towards the chest. Don't let it rest on the chest, but just bringing the chin down. And then look to your right shoulder. Let your right ear drop behind the right shoulder. Chin goes up to the ceiling. We drag it across the ceiling until you're looking at your left shoulder. And then drag the chin back across your chest. Let's go there one more time to the right. That ear drops behind, the chin floats up and over and around until you're looking left. And then drag it back to center. We'll go to the left now. Look to the left shoulder first. That left ear drops behind you. Chin floats up and over till you're looking at your right shoulder. Drag it across one more time to the left. Nice and slow and controlled. And finishing off with your chin towards your chest. Let that chin float up into a gentle extension, looking at the ceiling. And back down to flexion, looking at the chest. One more time, up to the ceiling. And then towards the chest. And ending up somewhere in the middle, nice long spine. We're going to start by rolling just one shoulder, okay? So start with your right shoulder, you're rolling it up and back. And we just want to stay somewhere in the middle. We're not going into any extremes here, pulling it up or pushing it down. Think of it as just rolling or bouncing. Nice little bouncy shoulder. Palms are facing in. And let's go the other way as well. One way feels coordinated, the other way feels like kind of awkward. And just letting that humerus just sort of float in the joint. Okay. Awesome. And then from there, let's go to the other side. So start just with that little circle backwards. Nice flowy little movement. And then the other way. And letting that go. Let's go into some big arm circles forward. Start to draw in through your tummy, press your feet into the floor, and just gently circling the arms. Like you're pushing them through water. And let's go backwards as well, leading with the pinky finger, up and around. Just gentle, waking everything up. And last one there. We're coming into some flowy squats. So we want to have it feeling like there's no stop point. There's no stop and start. We're just lowering up and down, swinging the arms forward as you squat, pulling them to your side as you push up. And once you find this nice rhythm, you're going to just tune into your abdominals, tune into your glutes. Nice and flowy here. Up and down, pushing through the heels. Can you lift your toes up? Can you send your sit bones back behind you just a little more? Reaching your spine, lifting your chest. Just getting some blood pumping here. We're going to pause in our squat. Come down, hands go onto your thighs. We're going to just do a modified, stay low in your squat, modified cat stretch by pushing the hands into the thighs, dropping the chin towards the chest, rounding your spine. And then come out to a nice extension. Spread the sit bones away from each other. Let your chest lift. Exhale, cat stretch, round. We're still in our squat. And extending the back. And again, round it up. You're pushing down into your thighs. Let's get back into that flowy squat. Coming down and standing tall. Big exhales. Trying to really avoid that thrust forward. We want to just stand tall. Big exhales. 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and on this last one, let's come down back into our squat. Hands go back to the thighs. We open to one side, big rotation. Bring the hand down, switch sides, rotate open. Keep the chest lifting, open. And back through center, and again. Legs are nice and spicy now. 1 more each side, rotate open. Try not to collapse down towards the thighs here. Awesome work, come to center. Round down towards the feet, bringing the chest towards the thighs. We've turned into a little ball here. Legs are still working. Exhale as you ragdoll up to standing. Standing tall. We're going to step the right leg forward. Left leg comes back into our lunge. Bringing your hands inside the front foot. We're finding ourselves into this nice stretch, nice lunge stretch. And while we're here, we're just going to alternate between lowering the knee to the floor and picking it back up. So just lower down with control and lift back up. Bend and extend that back leg. Continue to use the front leg here. Really easy to just kind of let gravity do the work with this one. So just continue to press this front foot into the floor so you're using it when you lift that back knee. And let's reach our spine long here. One more time. And let's come through plank, bringing this front leg back, holding our plank just for a moment. Reach through your heels, reach through the crown of your head, and then we're going to switch however you need to. You could put the back knee down first and bringing that leg forward into the lunge. Both sides of your hips are going to feel different here. And then you're going to use that back foot to extend the leg and then lower the knee to the floor. Extend and lower. So for me on my left side here, this is a huge stretch through my left hip and hamstring because it's much tighter than my right. You might feel some kind of asymmetries like that as well. Can you push down into the arms a little more, keeping your chest lifting? And let's just do about 4 more here. When we finish, we're going back out to that plank, and then we're gonna get busy here into our flow. We're all warmed up. And there's the last one. Okay, from here, however you can get there, you're going to come into a full plank. If you need to put a knee down, that's okay. If you are putting a knee down, you're going to stay in your plank and focus on form. If you're in your full plank, we're going to start to tap our feet out to the edges of your mat and bring them back into center. Tapping out to the side, 1, 2, bringing them into center, 1, 2. So tap out. So I'm going wide and narrow here. We want to keep the weight over the hands and shoulders. We're just going out for 2 and in for 2. Keep it up. See if you can lift your hips just a little more. Draw up through the tummy. Keeping your head in line with your spine. In. Let's aim for 3 more. Tap out for 2 and in for 2. Little bend in the elbows. Out for 2 and in for 2. One more time. And in for 2. We're holding this. Breathe. Find a nice strong plank here. If you need to put that knee down, you're going to do that and keep your form. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lowering the knees, taking your shell stretch. Bring your pinky side of your hand into the floor and push down. Getting that nice stretch through the lats. And just breathing deeply into your lower back here. Taking a rest. Big, deep exhales. And we're going to come out to our forearms, setting yourself up nice and square. Elbows are under shoulders. You're using your whole forearm. You're using your whole palm here. And let's take the right leg out long and then cross it across your left leg. So what happens here when we go into this crossover, it's easy to lean into this left hip and shift the weight to the left. Your goal here is to keep your weight centered. Okay, so we're going to prop up on our shoulders and arms here, really nice and strong in the shoulders. Exhale, take your right leg, tap it out to the side. Inhale, drag it across to that crossed position. Exhale, up and over. Visualize the shape of a rainbow here. So we're not going straight across, but we're going up and over to tap and back. And let's add the breath. Exhale as you tap out. Inhale as you cross up and back. Up and over, exhale. Inhale, drag it across. Exhale out. Using the glute, your belly button is staying exactly in the same spot here as we move. And you're in the center of your standing knee. Exhale, tap. Inhale, cross. The glute is working hard here. Can you push the floor away even more? Tap it out. And across. 2 more. Tap out. And cross. Last one. Out. And cross. Come in and take a shell. Great work. Your right hip and leg should be nice and warm and full of blood. Breathe here. And we'll head over to do the left. Square off on your forearms. Let's focus on reaching the neck long here and then send that left leg out. Lift the tummy and cross the left leg over the right to start. Take a big breath. Exhale up and over to tap out to the side on your left. Inhale, cross. So as you go here, you're going to start to feel a little bit more flow, but just be mindful that your whole body is not swaying with your leg. We're really trying to isolate that movement, putting it right in the hip, in the femur. The lower leg is coming along for the ride. And we move it out. Big exhale. Cross it on your inhale. Can we adjust through the shoulders, lifting more? And tap it out. And back. Let's do 4 more here. Reach it out. And cross. Exhale out. And cross. And cross. Last one. Tap it. Bring it across. Come back to shell. Nice work. Now, if you need a pad for your knees, if you're on a hard surface, we're going to grab that next. I'm just going to grab one for myself here. And we are going to come up onto our high knees. Put this pad under one knee. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat here. Okay, so the pad goes under one knee. The other leg is going to reach out long. And you want to try to keep this outside edge of your foot and your pinky toe connected with the floor here, okay? Our hands will go behind our head, and I'm just going to show you from the side what we're going to be doing here. So we're going to send this bum cheek back behind us, keep a long spine, hinge over. So notice that I haven't curled down, I'm staying long. And then exhale, I'm using this bum cheek of the bent knee, bent leg to bring me back up. So I'm hinging out long, lifting the core. Exhale, I'm standing tall, engaging the glute, okay? All right, let's do this. Standing tall on that knee, reaching the leg out. Draw in through your abdominals and then send your sit bones back behind you. Nice long spine here. Exhale as we stand tall. We want to keep the spine in line and moving as one. So the whole spine shape stays the same through this whole motion. We hinge forward. Exhale, squeeze the glute of the bent knee, bent leg, and hinge those hips back. Exhale, coming tall. So continue to lift through the abdominals. The spine stays so long here. It's going to want to curl forward, but we're not going to let it. And reach it out. And again. And let's do 3 more. Squeeze. And reach. And reach. Last one. From here, take your hands, place them out in front of you, and let your weight shift into your hands. So we're sort of in a modified planky thing here, maybe a modified push-up, but instead of doing that, we're going to bring this bent knee in a little bit to the midline, okay? And from here, we're going to maintain our connection with our spine and our abdominals. We're going to lift this long leg, and then we're going to tuck the toes and hover this knee, and that's the combination. So we exhale, lift this leg, it's just a little lift. Then we tuck our toes, exhale, we hover the knee. And we go between those 2 motions. Exhale up, and exhale, hover. The hands stay in the same place throughout, and we want to keep the neck in line with the spine here. Little kick, little lift. Now, while we move, can we just focus into our abdominals here for just a moment? Notice, are your lowest abdominals with you? Can you feel the connection there, making you stronger as you move? And let's do 2 more here. Kick and hover. And last one. And hover. Coming back up to standing on your knee. And let's tip right over onto our hand. So now I've got my upper arm is reaching above my head. Got a little space between my ear and my arm. My leg is long. As we exhale, we're going to come into a half starfish. Exhale, both lift up. So we've got the arm up in the air, the leg up in the air. Inhale, they both lengthen out. Exhale, we squeeze the side body and lift. Inhale, down. Exhale, up. And down. Nice work. Like you're between two pieces of glass here. And over. Exhale, draw up. Reach through the body and lower. You're in control of that arm and leg. And let's just do 2 more here. Think about your lats that are pulling your arm up. Great work. And let's let that go. Turn all the way through to a shell. Just take a moment. Notice your heartbeat, the temperature of your body. And we're going to switch it up. So now that left leg will be the long leg. Plant that foot down, pinky toe, outer edge of the foot is connected. Squeeze the glute of this bent leg. Getting nice and tall, hands come behind the head. If you don't like that, they could come to your chest, but just keep your chest lifted, okay? If hands behind the head is bugging you. All right, nice long spine, cinch up through the center, and let's hinge forward. Send those sit bones back, spread the sit bones behind you, and then pull up. Nice long spine. And reach it out. Exhale, engage that glute and come tall. Reach it out, continue to lift through the abdominals, and then come strong through that glute. Reach it out. And check in with your pinky toe. I can feel that mine wants to lift. Just try to keep it planted on the floor. And up, let's go for 4 more here. Long spines. Your sacrum reaches behind you. Can you check your shoulder tension? Keep everything moving in one big piece here. The head comes up at the same time as your mid-spine, at the same time as your lower spine. And one more time. Squeeze that glute. Hands come out in front of you. Shift the weight forward into your hands. Wiggle if you need to. So in this position, we're going to bring the knee in towards the midline just a little, just an inch, okay? And from here we go into that combination move. Exhale, lifting the long leg, and then exhaling again as we hover the knee. So there's just a quick inhale between the two. Lift, exhale, hover. And once again, the shape of your spine is just going to stay long and strong. Little lift and little hover. Every time you hover, bring those abdominals with you. Again, everything moving in one shape. Let's go for 4 more of these. Nice strong arms, bend in the elbow, just a little micro bend. Last 2. And last 1. Great work, coming up tall, and we send ourselves over into our modified side plank here. Stay strong in the underarm. Don't let yourself collapse into that shoulder. You'll get pinchy. We want to stay lifted through this arm. Let the other arm reach over your head. And as we exhale, you come to that half starfish. and then lower it back over your head. Think about the lats. Under your arm, there's this strong group of muscles that are pulling your arm up into the air. They make up your side body, a portion of it. Up, exhale, inhale, reach. Can you be stronger in the bottom arm? Exhale, pull up. Inhale. Let's do 4 more. 4, 3, like you're pushing through water. 2, can you connect with your abdominals in this position? Last one. And letting that go, coming out of it into your shell. Nice work, you guys. Breathe deeply. Oh, try to puff up your lower back with air. Let all that air out to the very end of your exhale. And then we're turning onto our backs. Okay, so find yourself in a comfortable position. Try to be as neutral as you can here. A little bit of space between your lower back and the mat. And let's just rock through our imprint and back to neutral. Just saying hello to your lowest vertebra. Legs are nice and parallel here. Imagine you're holding a little block between your knees. And now let's bring the arms down to your side. They can be slightly away from the body if that feels better for your shoulder. And let your palms be face up. Okay, we're going to be rolling right up into our bridge, so you may need to drag your heels just a little closer to your bum. And we're going to come up into our first bridge here. So try to visualize that little block between the knees. Exhale, roll through your spine into imprint. Then when you're ready, you're going to draw up, peeling your spine up off the floor, pushing the pinky side of your hand into the floor here. So we don't want to come too high, we want to stay nice and neutral. And let's roll down. Really take your time, like you're giving your spine a massage. One vertebra at a time, articulating especially through the sticky parts until you're back down in that neutral pelvis. And allow your pelvis to go back to neutral. Just check in with your inner thighs. Keep the legs parallel. Let's roll back up. Keep pushing those arms into the floor. Exhale as you roll up into your bridge. Keep the arms slightly engaged into the floor here. We're going to start to exhale and alternate lifting heels. And I want you to just let your hips release a little bit so that you're not pushing up too high through the glute and hamstring. You're just neutral here, and you're just alternating as you lift each heel. Exhale. Can you push back through the arms just a little bit more? And let's just do about 4 more lifts. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take a breath in and let's massage the spine one more time as you roll it down, one vertebra at a time. Take your time here. Stay strong in the legs until you feel the pelvis on the mat. And we're going to take the right leg up to tabletop. And we're going to be alternating legs here as well, but just watch me for a second. We're going to be pressing up, so we're not rolling anymore. We're just going to press up into a one-legged bridge, come down, switch, other leg, okay? So we're just switching legs, coming up into our one-legged bridge. Now if you want to, you could put your hands on your hips here, just to give you the feedback about what's happening. Are your hips level? One leg at a time. And what can happen if we don't keep our core on here and keep a nice focused movement is that the leg that's up in the air, that hip is going to drop down if we don't stay focused. So up and down, just alternating, finding the back of the leg, reaching the leg that's in the air up to the ceiling. And just switching a couple more times here, just finding the backs of the legs and the glutes. Nice, and letting that go. Let's just come to butterfly for a second. Wiggle, push your legs away from you. Getting into a little fascial pull through the hip flexor. And just breathing deeply. Now let's take that, come back to neutral pelvis. Take the right leg long. And it's going to be the mover. So once we get into this pattern, you're just barely going to touch this right leg to the floor. But as we flex up, the leg is going to float just to the height of your left leg. Okay? So let's gently nod the chin. Try not to collapse your chin into your chest here. We want to keep a little space there between the chin and the chest. Nod the chin. And then exhale, your ab prepping, bringing the leg up. And inhale, we lower. Exhale, soften through the sternum and the ribs as we flex up over them. Keeping that leg nice and parallel, you're going to find your quad. You could point your toes if it helps you find your quad. Exhale, flex. I'm just bringing the upper back up. My lower back is staying as neutral as possible. And let's think about drawing the armpits to the hips and keeping that little space between your chin and your chest. Inhale out, exhale up. Yes, we feel our hip flexor. We should also feel our abdominals working here. Let's do 3 more. 3, 2, and last one. Letting that leg rest and bending it up, switching to the left. Now each one is going to feel different. If you need to adjust your shoulders, if having the hands behind the head is bothering you, you could totally do this with your arms at your side, just really reaching through the arms. So that's an option if the hands behind the head is not feeling great. Arms at your side with a reach. Here we go. Engage through that left leg. Nod your chin gently. Flex up. Reach through the leg. And reach back to the floor. And back. Let's really press down through our right foot. And we're trying to keep the pelvis as neutral as we can here. Nice flowy movement. Let's go for 3 more. Keep reaching through that leg. 3, 2, and last one, and letting that go. Drag that heel back up to bent, and let's cross over into figure 4 with our right leg over the left, okay? So you're gonna try, once you're in this figure 4, you're gonna try to keep your hips relatively neutral. There's gonna be a little rotation and a little bit of movement there. That's totally okay. All right, now the left hand is going to go behind the head. The right arm is reaching down beside you. Okay, we're going to cross over, bringing the upper body towards the lower body as we get into our obliques. Here we go. Exhale, cross over. Think shoulder to hip and back. So we don't want to drag the elbow to the knee. We're thinking shoulder to hip or shoulder to knee here. Exhale as you cross. We're keeping that gentle tuck of the chin without collapsing into the chest. Exhale. You're going to be somewhere sort of between neutral and imprint here, and that's okay. Exhale, cross, keep your elbow wide. We're going to add in a little combination after 4 more of these. 4. Give a nice squeeze to those obliques. 3, keep reaching through the long arm. 2. And 1, we're going to find a combination between this. We're going to cross over, hover the knees. Hover the hips, not the knees, the hips. And down. Cross over and back. Hover the hips and down. Cross and back. Hover the hips and down. And let's just focus in on what's happening here. As we flex up, we're engaging those obliques and rotating the body just slightly. And let's do 3 more. 3. And up. Exhale as you flex up. 2. And up. Last one. Cross it over. And hover the bottom. And down. Great work. Take a big stretch. Release everything. And then we're going to switch it up. Left leg comes into the figure 4. And again, these are always going to feel slightly different depending on which hip is tighter. And now the left arm stays reaching. The right hand goes behind the head. Set that shoulder away from the ear. And let's flex up and cross. And back. This is going to feel, these crossovers never feel, they never feel super satisfying, I guess is the word. It's hard. We don't have a lot of rotation in our upper back, and a lot of times we're extra tight there anyways, just from our lifestyle. So these can feel a bit frustrating. But I would just say continue to try to think of bringing that shoulder towards the knee instead of the elbow. And just see if you can notice that oblique engaging. And let's do 4 more. 4, 3, big exhales here. 2. And on this last one, let's start that combination. Cross it over, bring it back, hover the hips, and lower them. Cross, and back, hover, and down. Can you add more control to your movement? Can you drop the belly button towards the spine just a little bit more here? Especially as we're hovering the hips. Let's do 3 more. Keep your hips reaching away from you, keeping that long lower back. And last one here, cross over and back. And letting that go. We're going to come into our imprint. Bringing the legs up, arms are going to float. We're just going to hold here and breathe, focusing into your imprint. Can we drop a little tension out of the shoulders? Make sure you can still feel your shoulder blades on the mat here. We're going to take our knees away from us 2 inches. Bring them out and away from you 2 inches. Exhale, draw them in 2 inches. So it's this tiny controlled motion. Knees go away 2. Exhale, draw them back 2. This is so small. Less is more here. Reach it out. Exhale, pull it in. And again. And draw it in. Think of the lowest abdominals you have. Think about pelvic floor. And let's do 4 more. 4. So small. 3. Last 2. And last 1. Awesome work, you guys. Give your knees a hug, roll around on your lower back, and we're turning right over onto your tummy from here. So turn to your side, roll through. I have just a little extension to finish after all that flexion. If you have a cushion, please grab it. We're going to not use it for the first one, but for the second exercise we will. Coming down onto the mat, wiggle your bum, let your pelvis release, and let your arms come out wide here. So they're probably going to be off your mat, okay? And you're going to zip the legs right together, seeing if you can connect your heels. So it's sort of like you're in a first position in ballet here. You've got your toes maybe turned out a little bit, and you've got your heels connecting. So as we come up into our breaststroke 1 today, we're going to come into, it kind of reminds me of a scorpion, so I've kind of been calling it scorpion. But we're going to be keeping the heels as close together as we can. As we push into our breaststroke, we're going to draw the heels into the air towards the bum, not too hard, okay, just a nice little connection, nothing extreme. And then we're going to let the legs reach as we come back down to the mat. So let's get into it. Squeeze those legs. If your heels don't touch, that's okay. They will eventually connect in the air, okay? Big breath in here. Draw up through the core, push down through the arms, lift the head and chest, and at the same time, drag your heels towards your bum. Inhale as we reach out, squeeze the inner thighs. Exhale as you hover, push down through the floor. And lower the nose and the chest. Exhale, pull in. So you should feel your inner thighs here. You should feel your glutes and hamstrings. Exhale, up. And reach out. Pushing up through the floor. Keep your eyes on the floor rather than hyperextending through the neck. You can lift the chest without going into full extension through the neck. And pushing up. And back down. So my toes are slightly turned out, my heels are together. And down, last one. And reaching down, release everything, wiggle, and grab your cushion and place it right under your hips. So you're going to bring it right across your pelvis. Okay, this is our last exercise, and then we'll stretch. Resting your head on your hands. And we're going to put that that cushion right under your pelvis. And we're going to start with some alternating leg lifts. Try to keep your leg as straight as you can. Your abdominals are on here. And our legs are staying super parallel. Reach through them like you've got that line of tension or a lightning bolt straight from the hip. Straight down the leg, out the toes. You could point your toes and push that energy through the legs. There's lifting. Can we just keep the tension from creeping up into the shoulders? Squeeze the glute. And just focus. Do you feel your lower back overworking here? If you do, let's lower the height of the leg. And then we're going to start to get into more of a flutter kick here. So what we're going to do is hover both legs and start to find a nice little flutter. Doesn't have to be super duper fast, but with a little bit of pace. And let's add our long, deep breathing here. So quick feet, quick legs, long breath. Big exhale. Keep reaching through the legs, keep them nice and straight. Big inhale, and big exhale. Keep it going. Reach through the body. Two more long breaths here. You've got this. Keep it up. One more breath. Hold the legs out. Reach them. Hover them. Reach, reach, reach. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower them down. Whew. Shake your hips. And then bring your legs zipped in together, nice and parallel. Feet are planted on the ceiling. So you've got your feet flexed. Okay, soles of the feet are up. We're going to exhale, hover the knees up an inch. Squeeze your inner thighs. And lower. And again, exhale, squeeze the inner thighs, plant your feet on the ceiling. This is so small. If you feel your lower back, you're going too high. Squeeze and hover just an inch. And down. Huge exhale. Squeeze and hover that inch. And down. My knees are barely leaving the floor. It's all about the squeeze. Squeeze and lift. And lower. Let's do 4 more. Squeeze and hover. You should be super warm in the back of the legs, and the hamstrings, the glutes. 2 more. And down. Last one. Squeeze and hover. Whew. And let that go. Whew. Let your legs go long, wiggle, and let's push into shell. You can move the pillow or the cushion right out of the way. Take your shell stretch. Let your thighs go wide here. Let your head rest on the mat. Can your tailbone reach to the heels? And just try to fill up your pelvis, fill up your lower back with air as you breathe. Let's walk our hands off to the left, getting a big pull through the side body. You should still be feeling that energy in the hamstrings and the glutes. And walk your hands through center and over to the right. And then back through center. Let's come up to all fours, right into some cat stretches, around your spine. And then come through and give a little extension into cow. Just be really careful with your lower back here. Rounding up to cat. And then articulating back to cow. And let's take a pigeon, bringing your right leg forward. Try to bring your shin as horizontal as you can. Each side will be different. And then if you want to, you come to your forearms or just stay on your hands. And we get into the glute stretch and the rotators. This should feel really good. It might feel a little intense. Just breathing into that tension. One more breath. And let's switch sides. We worked the glutes a lot today. You'll probably feel them. Push the floor away with your arms or your hands. Try to stay lifted. And one more breath there. And let's come out of that into our low lunge. I'm just going to put a pad under my knees because my knees are sensitive. And let's just take low lunge. If you want to, you can bring the arm of your back leg up and over into a side bend. And gently coming out of that, switching. And then up and over, getting that little side bend, getting a little extra out of the stretch of your hip flexor, your side body. And one more breath there. Releasing, and then let's just sit on our cushion to finish, or the floor if you don't have yours. And let's just finish with our legs slightly wide and walking our spine long, leaving your sit bones on your cushion. Bring your toes up to the ceiling. Allow your neck to release here. Maybe you shake your head no. And just get all those different angles of your upper traps where they attach on your skull. Breathe into your lower back. And then start to activate your abdominals just a little as you drag your fingertips towards your legs. Get up nice and tall. Roll your shoulders. And you are all finished. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. Have an awesome day, and I will see you soon.